a couple of weeks ago.
Skydiving. That would make me nervous after that
That's
fellow.
about trying to fill my bucket list.
Good for you.
Yeah, so that was.
You have anything else exciting on your bucket list?
Well, the sailing, but it's just a small sunfish. That's.
Do you sail already?
Oh yeah, I've been sailing it, and I'll plan to again get it ready and go next week and sail across the Great South Bay. I like to go to the Ocean Bay Park. They have a cafeteria or a restaurant rather.
Oh yeah.
Right on the beach.
Oh,
so
that's nice.
So I just go right in and walk up and
Order your lunch.
you order lunch. Takes sometimes about 2 hours. You got to zigzag there.
Yeah.
But it's nice coming back and win half the time.
And I think this interview is on his bucket list too.
Well, that's a common word today, yeah.
The Connetquot Library interview.
Enjoy the school. They used to have a field track in the back, but they don't have it anymore. I felt like it was my own personal field track. Nobody went back there.
So what did you do? You walked the track or ran the track?
I ran. I used to jog.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And that was there when you first moved
Yes,
in?
that was there.
And when did that disappear?
Oh, gee, it's about 5 years ago or so.
5 years ago. So
they
it's
put
fairly
ball
recent.
fields, they put the ball field back there and everything.
Well, they don't have a track.
Oh, they built a brand new one. They modernized it real good.
Yeah.
But
Closer to the building.
Yeah. But it was private. I felt it was my own.
Yeah.
That in Lake Ronkonkoma, I used to go sailing there or something, and sometimes nobody being the lake.
That?
So I felt coming out there, I thought Lake Ronkonkoma was mine, and the field track.
Now, what time of year would Lake Ronkonkoma have no one else on it?
Well, I guess on the fall and through the winter. I guess once in a while it doesn't freeze over much, but they would have the ice boating there.
Cool.
But yeah, it was good when I first started going there. But they improved it, but yet they didn't seem to make it user friendly.
Which is that, the lake or the track?
The lake, Lake Ronkonkoma. They used to have the beach there, and you could drive your car right on the beach there, and then you could bring your boat down, and people would sunbathe too. So everybody seemed to be having a good time. And then they took that all away. You couldn't. They built a playground, but there wasn't access to the beach.
When did that change around?
Oh, that was around. It must have been in the late '80s or '90s.
Late 80s or 90s, they changed that?
But they improved now. I just went down last week. I see they made a beach there for the boaters that come in. Especially if you want to do a sailboat, you need a beach. It's easier on a beach. But they just have a boat ramp, and that's not easy.
Yeah, that's hard.
That's slippery, and it's not dangerous. But now it's improved. And
You used to go boating there?
yes, I had the kayak and sailboat.
Wow. So coming from the city, this must have been like
Oh
a
yeah,
great
it was great.
place.
Because the city, they didn't have that. They had the parks, but not things like that. Yeah, so it's nice out here. I feel when I go to Heckscher Park, the scenery. I went to Bermuda last year, but I feel going to Heckscher Park here is better. The beach, you got more of a beach, and you have Fire Island as scenery, and you have the boats going by. But in Bermuda, you look out there, and all you do is see the water line. There's nothing out there.
Right.
No boats are, and the beach is only a quarter of a mile maybe. And before you know it, you come to the end. They have a big rock. And they're bragging about this beach, whereas here, our beaches are better. And so the grass doesn't look greener.
That's we do live in a great place.
It is.
We really do. It's beautiful.
But I guess where you live, you take for granted. But
Yeah.
and so the grass doesn't look green. I don't really to travel, I got it here.
Well, it sounds like you make full use
Yeah,
of
yeah.
everything. A lot of people
Yeah,
don't. You have
yeah,
all
yeah.
that athletic
Right, yeah.
stuff going on.
Right, right.
And it's all around, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Those are the people who truly
And,
enjoy the island, I think.
And I enjoy bicycling too. I go on the New York not marathon. It's what we call it, tour. They call it every May 1st or the first weekend in May. There's about 30,000 bicycles ride around the 5 boroughs of Manhattan.
Wow.
Every year they do that.
How long of a ride is that?
It's 40 miles.
Nice.
Yeah. And so I've gone with my daughter and her husband. And
Do you
I-
ride around here too?
Oh, yeah, every day. I don't
I
use
see.
it.
Every day?
I don't. I always first time I didn't take the bike to the library. I always take I always use the bike, and I have a utility bike, which I have a large basket in front and a saddle basket in the back. So I usually go shopping, Woolworths or meat farms. They're close. That's nice now. It's closer now.
I like meat.
So it's and so it's a nice ride.
So you don't mind going around in the bicycle on the roads?
No, the roads are nicer here in Bohemia.
Yeah.
The roads are flat.
Yeah.
You just go about any place. It's nice here.
Yeah, you could ride forever.
And you've always ridden your bike around?
Yeah, for the last 40 years, really.
Wow.
Here I ride to Farmingdale to. I go to the cemetery there to visit my parents.
Oh, Pine Lawn.
Pine Lawn.
Yeah, I have people.
Yeah,
who-
that's a nice ride. That's about 20 miles perhaps.
And you do that via what road?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's Long Island Avenue.
Oh, all
It
right.
follows the Long Island Railroad.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah,
So that's
But-
nice and flat too.
yeah that's all the way. It's flat, really.
Right.
How long does that take? It probably takes
Takes
you.
me I say with
2
a
hours?
little under 2 hours.
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
I'm lucky. Never been hit by a car.
Right.
So
Yeah, but you ride safely. I do see you. out
yeah,
there.
yeah. Like I watched. I thought I feel like I know most of the tricks. So I stay out of trouble.
Have you noticed it, more development and all that it gets a little harder for you to ride the bicycle around here? Or it's always been the same?
It's gone. It's more, but I just
You
more
just
careful.
deal with it,
still
yeah.
doesn't hinder you.
Right.
Yeah.
You can handle it.
Obviously.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah,
I
so
love this. This is.
I feel that bike riding is it helped me and keep me in shape.
Yeah, you're in incredible shape.
Yeah.
So it paid off. Of course, a lot of my buddies who have smoked or drank and at work, they're not around anymore.
Aw.
Yeah.
So it paid off. They used to make fun of me. Gee, what do? You drink, you don't smoke, you can't be having any fun or something.
They should
You're
get
out
on that
bike
bike.
riding.
Yeah, that's the ultimate.
That was good.
Now, do you walk in Connetquot River State Parks? I know you can't bike
Yeah,
there, but
I-
do you walk in any of the local parks?
I walk around not Connetquot. It's right next door to me. Yeah, but I don't go in it. I go in the Heckscher Park and walk around
Heckscher Park.
the circle too.
What
Yeah.
keeps you away from Connetquot Park?
Well, it just doesn't appeal. You go in there, and I don't know. It's the road. It's not as scenic as I think.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, you got the the water,
He
you got
likes
everything,
the
and then
ocean.
Yeah.
I joined the model airplane club in Heckscher Park. They have
I know exactly where that is.
yeah.
Yes.
So
yes.
I'm learning how to fly the model airplanes.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. They do that right there in the park?
Yes.
Yeah.
They have a parking lot that's
Yeah,
a
just,
permit only.
Yeah, you need a
You
permit.
have to be with them.
And they're pretty strict there because they got the main road there, so they don't want any
Right.
planes going out and getting loose and going on the driveway.
Yeah. It's right. It's like right on the water too. It's
Oh, how pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, that must be beautiful.
Now, how did
Well,
you get
no,
involved with that?
We don't really like the water there because the planes we lose control
Right,
sometimes.
yes.
We need a rowboat to go and get out.
Oh, God.
it's,
Oh, I can picture the scene.
Yeah,
I'm
so
sorry.
it really,
The water
Bunch
doesn't
of
do
guys.
it.
yeah. So that's, I've gone to some upstate where you have plenty of room. You don't have that problem.
I've seen them crashing the planes in the woods. Now, how did you get involved with this group?
With the
Was it like, has it been around
yeah,
a
well,
long time?
when
and
I
do
was
you-
walking.
What is it called? I'm sorry. Was it the name of
The
group?
model airplane,
Yeah.
AMA or whatever, the American Association.
Okay.
But, well, when I was walking, I knew it was there, but as I walked by, I would go and inquire. And they said it was in East Islip, that's where they met monthly.
How long ago was that you?
Well, I've been just about 3 years now. I've been
Okay.
doing this,
Yeah.
and it's really harder than a real airplane.
Yeah.
I flew, but I mean my brothers. I've tried flying a real airplane, and it's easier than a model airplane. The real airplane, it responds better than the sticks.
Yeah.
So.
Do you build your own planes?
No, this
or
one I
you-
bought was really
Okay.
ready-made. You just assemble it.
Yeah.
And now it's mostly electric now. It's even that's makes it nicer in a way. The gasolines were noisier, and then if you bring it home with you, your wife will get mad because the odor of the gas and everything. So the electric is winning over.
I mean, you've seen a lot of changes
Oh,
over in the course
yeah,
of the
right.
library's history.
I-
What would you say is the thing that
Yeah.
you most
Oh.
value, having experienced so many years as a patron? What would you say, like you like to come to the library for?
I mostly like lately the magazines, the airplane magazines. I like
Magazines.
them. And then I like to go around. It's every area is really interesting. The CDs on how to do the electrical work and all that. So I find that interesting mostly. I like the technical things. I don't read novels. I
Yeah.
just like
You're a nonfiction man.
nonfiction. Yeah.
Backs up your interests, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
yeah.
So they have.
What was your career?
I was worked for Con Edison in the
Oh.
city. I worked in the powerhouse. It was it's called. You might have heard the name Big Alice. I don't know. That was at one time when it was built. It was the biggest power plant in the world at the time.
Wow.
And but then later on they built more.
Yeah.
And it's not the power, but that was the generating station. It supplied most of the electricity, I think, in the city there.
And what was your, like,
I was
area?
through the years. I became I was operated the boilers around there. Then later on, I went into the electric group and helped maintain all the electrical machinery, the generator,
Wow.
and anything electrical.
So that's your whole background
Yeah.
then,
Yeah,
because it seemed like with the
Yeah,
plane and
I worked
everything else.
for them about 35 years,
Wow.
and
And you used to commute?
well, yeah. Well,
Did you-
at
did
first
they
I
have
lived
something
only a
out here
few
for you?
miles away, so I wasn't too anxious to have to move way out here.
Yeah.
Because my wife was sure she wanted it, but I was only 10 minutes away. Now I'm out an hour and 10 minutes away. You know.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
that-
You drove though, right?
Yes, but with the car, it took an hour and 10. But then coming in on a Sunday when everybody's coming home from beach, it would take a couple hours to get to work.
You worked weekends sometimes?
Oh yeah, we worked around the clock. It was
Oh, right.
around, your electricity. So I worked all the shifts, midnights, and I had all that stuff.
That was probably a nice ride at midnight then.
Oh, it was easier then, yeah.
Sail right
You
in.
could stay up, though.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah, but
nice.
then
To
come on.
where though?
Tired,
What
yeah.
what
It was
street?
right by I don't think where the Williamsburg Bridge is.
Oh yeah.
That's right there.
That's my
You
favorite
could-
bridge, actually.
Yeah.
Seems like you created a lot of things to do.
Yes. I know a lot of people say, gee, you're retired, what are you doing? there's so many. Oh, and then my grandchildren, I was half the time you're babysitting. That's, you know, but I enjoyed that. It was a good era.
How old are your grandchildren?
They were, well, they were, they're grandchildren, they were about 20 years old now, 19. And, but I enjoyed that, taking them to the park. I felt like a kid again, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of times I would pass a swing and want to go on it. You feel foolish going on it. So, here's the kids, go play.
I'm showing them how to do it.
I had more fun than they did. You know?
They'd have to say, Grandpa, we didn't want to go to the park today. We're exhausted.
Yeah, right. So,
You seem like you have
then,
energy to spare.
yeah, I felt fortunate that way. So I had twins. So they both,
You had twins?
No, not, my son had twins. So these were my grandchildren. So I was bringing them to the park in a wagon. I went over there and put them on all these things.
And what park did you bring them to?
There was on Johnson Avenue, and what part of? Geez, right across the Vets Highway. What? Near Old Nichols Road.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a park there, off Old Nichols Road, and you know, what is it, Johnson. I didn't know about the park until my son moved there. You know, I never heard of it. So it was it's just I don't know why, so close, but I didn't know it was there. So
It's still there. I
yeah. And then they had a nice wooden walk. You could walk through the woods. They had it all
Oh, I love that.
not roped off, but decked. Yeah, a nice deck. And then they had a pond there. They had all the ducks you could. Well, you're not supposed to, but you got to show the grandchildren feeding the ducks. That was fun.
That's his excuse. He had to show the grandchildren.
Yeah, that was a way out. Yeah, I enjoy that era.
Yeah.
Taking them these places.
Maybe you'll have great grandchildren soon.
And you could go back to the swings in the park.
Yeah.
But you seems like you really have made the most of living
Yeah,
in the
I
area.
feel-
I guess
I feel
coming
it.
from the city, like such an
Yeah.
active person as you are.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always stuff to do. If you're active, I think you find it. But
Oh yeah.
you definitely
They say
carved out.
There's no. Besides, just having a house, there's always something to fix,
Right.
and so there's no end to.
Right. It's always a
things.
chore.
Yeah, a lot of people say, "Well, gee, we're retired. Aren't you bored?" No, just the thought of having a leisure breakfast in the morning. Not many people have that.
Right.
They get up there, rush, and have a cup of coffee, and run everybody. And I just have my leisurely breakfast. Eat when I feel like it, and so I enjoy that part.
Sounds like you figured out like Zen without trying.
Well,
Zen in Bohemia.
no, it's just when you're getting up 4 o'clock in the morning to go to work. That's
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
a natural time.
Right. You're out of rhythm with your family. and your-
Yeah, so, but now, so a lot of time I may wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and say, I feel lucky that I'm retired, you know.
Right, especially
know,
when it's snowing or
Yeah.
it's
A
raining
lot of-
outside.
I feel it added
I feel like getting out there.
to me, my life. It's hectic going to work. The traffic today, and especially late, missed that.
That's the right attitude, though, to wake up every day and be thankful that.
Yeah, I appreciate the thought. And then a powerhouse. It's a good job, but the elements. It's so hot, you know. And the boiler, you know, the heat around it. You know, it's a lot of times it's around. You work in 100-degree.
Oh,
Yeah.
Then in the wintertime, that's when some of the machinery outside mess up. So now you're outside, and right by the river. It's probably 0 degrees out there. You're trying to fix a motor, get it going.
Yeah, that's tough. Your hands are numb. or
So, then the noise. You can't have a normal conversation. We can't talk like this. You have to yell when you're working, and it's just that the noise all day long. Even though you have air buffers still, and then even the quality there with all the motors running and gas, and it was not a pleasant environment. I was surprised.
How long ago did you retire?
21 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nice. Good for you.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. So they came up with a package they wanted to do that. So I took advantage of it. I was skeptical then, but now I'm not. I don't regret one day coming.
Did your wife work at all?
She worked. I was the housekeeper for 5 years.
Ah.
And
And you did a good job?
Yeah, and I think it's a good job. I feel that women are missing out. I thought I wouldn't mind being a housewife.
You don't mind cleaning and all that?
No, I made it out of science. Every Friday I would take them up and clean all the ceilings, and I had it. I did all I did the wash, I cooked, I did all this. My wife just had to come home, sit down, eat, and read the paper.
That's the life.
Wow.
As soon as my wife left, I did the dishes right away and had everything. And then I would finish by noon, and in the summertime I would take the sailboat and go to Fire Island and then come back. She would worry if I went sailing, so I wouldn't tell her. Because if you tell them, they worry.
She would worry that maybe dinner wouldn't be ready.
Yeah, possibly. So I'd come back and get the mail and do everything else. Go shopping on bike.
Where's your favorite place to ride your bike? Like if you were just
No,
going
I
out
actually
to
around
enjoy
town. Just go
around
shop. That's what I
Bohemia?
do. Really, most of the bicycle riding. I'm shopping all the time. I'm a shopper. My wife doesn't like shopping, so I do all the shopping.
That's great.
Yeah.
And you have the baskets?
But I got a list here. Before I come home, I got to go to the store.
So now, do you find places to tie up your bike
No,
here?
I don't lock it. I just
Oh, you just leave it?
just leave it there for the last 20 years, and nobody touched it.
Wow, that's a
Yeah.
good endorsement for the neighborhood, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
Even up at this big one.
I
up
go
here?
to meat farms, and I go to wall farms, and I just leave the bike there. Nobody at meat farms where I put the bike. There's a chain there that ties up some of the carts, so I just take the chain and throw it through the smokes.
the
So it
appearance.
looks like. But
Is this your same bike? Have you had this?
I've had this since this bike. I got it in late 80s, about 87, I think.
You don't wear a
Was it-
helmet, right? I don't.
No, I don't.
But you have.
I wear the cap. I've never had an accident where I.
Let's knock some wood right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
But even when I was a kid, I never.
Never felt the need for
I
it.
never hit my head. Well,
Yeah.
but my buddy, he was hit a little bit. But I feel lucky that. That's it. I don't have any close calls. I more or less know all the tricks and what to watch out for.
You want to share one of your tricks with us?
Well, I just. You can tell by just a sound how far a car is away, So you'll get over to the curb, and give them room. I always, they always have the right of way for me. I don't fool around with any of them, so I get out of the way.
That's smart advice for driving too, I think.
Close call is you may want to make a left turn, and the car passes you. And then you make a turn, but you forget, you can't have the car in back of him. And so if you turn right after the car passes you, the guy in back, you're going to get hit by him. You got to So always watching. I don't have a rearview mirror, but I just I make sure if I'm going to make a left turn up, sometimes I'll just stop, and when the traffic passes, then I'll go my own way. I don't like to miss.
So you just don't, you're basically unhurried.
Right.
You take your time.
Right.
And you
Just
play
I
it
don't
safe.
the fastest I really go is 10 miles an hour.
But that looks like it's a good workout.
But
Anything.
it's a good. It must be. Yes, it is, because one time I did have a leg problem, but I think the riding a bicycle worked it out. That's almost like physical therapy.
Right.
So you're your own physical therapist?
Yeah, I guess. Well, that's like they say, exercise, and I try to. Dr. Oz, right now I'm trying all his tricks. We have it all here.
Yeah.
You
You've
know?
decided to be happy
Yeah.
and find all the great stuff.